Stephen, I have to bounce around a little bit here because you have so much in the book. There's so much detail, and people need to read some of that for themselves. But I really don't want to skip over the transition that you make from, a full-time engineer and the comfortable life that you built for yourself and you and Linda, and where you would kind of put your plan in place for, to a move from all of that, the scary and yet liberating, I think I'm paraphrasing your words right here, of moving into the mission type work. And I want you to speak to that, because that is the big jump. There's going to be people that are going through that, making that, and this is, I think, a voice and an opportunity for you to kind of like speak into them through your own experience.
Well, it was one of these situations that I almost compare it to Peter in the boat, that as long as you focus on that little voice inside, it's amazing how comfortable you feel. We were transitioning to the new company. There were about 2 other folks that worked for the new company as well, and we felt like this wasn't where we were called to be, and we knew we had some experience in electrification, but really there's not a lot of demand for people that need to, as mission work, supply electricity here in the United States. Most of the people, the overwhelming majority of the people, can go flip on a light switch and the lights come on, or the air conditioner comes on, or the heat comes on. We have all these electrical appliances, and that's not, for me, what I consider to be an appropriate mission to work in that field anymore. I felt like I needed to take that knowledge to somewhere in the world where probably, I would think, 70% of the people don't have access to electricity. And so my original thought was to light some small villages in Africa. And I had met, after our China trip, with a gentleman named Stuart Crane that was running Barefoot Power. And we decided to collaborate on doing some of these small villages in Africa. And so I left that wonderful cruise and came back to the U.S. with this great idea. And I talked to my pastor about this. He then talked to a district superintendent that he knew in Oklahoma. And I was joined for lunch in Fort Worth, Texas, at the annual conference. At the General Conference of the United Methodist Church in Fort Worth. One of the people there was named Sam Dixon, who was the Deputy Director of UMCOR, United Methodist Committee on Relief. I pitched my idea about lighting these small villages, and he calmly listened and shook his head and said, "Sure, be glad to support you. Will you do one thing for me?" "Yeah, I'd be glad to. What would that be?" And he said, "Well, I need you to electrify this hospital in Liberia that, because of the Civil War, it was a 14-year Civil War, this hospital electric system was just really decimated. They have about 24,000 patients a year, and they don't have good quality electricity." He said the surgeons would a lot of times finish operations with flashlight in their mouth, and they didn't use anesthesia machines because modern anesthesia machines get their timing from the electric cycles. And I asked a few questions, and I thought, wow, I can't believe he's asking me. He doesn't know who I am. I was really flattered, and basically my ego ran away with itself, and I said, "Sure, I'll be glad to do that," not really knowing what I was getting myself in for.
It's an incredible journey, and the book takes you through just multiple layers of this, folks, where you learn what Stephen had kind of transitioned away from and what he transitioned into to bring electricity to this horrible situation. It's just a fantastic journey. When Faith Lights the Way is the name of the book, and you get a copy for yourself.